Hello, my name is Callum Power, and I am the project manager for Emergency Squad. The Emergency Squad is a group of 5 employees formed to research and recommend a country for international expansion by 72 hours. With a show of hands, before you got to your positions at 72 hours, how many of you were actually prepared for natural disaster? Okay, I see, not a lot of us. Do you know what resources you need to survive? Many of us are just like you. We want to protect our families, and we want to know that a natural disaster could happen at any time. At 72 hours, we obviously strive to provide the resources necessary for people to protect themselves in the event of a natural disaster. We've researched countries that are frequently impacted by natural disasters and found they also have these same concerns. This is what motivated us to find a country where people want a resource to rely upon in the event of a disaster. So, who's in the Emergency Squad? I'm honored to be the project manager for this project. I have worked with Ms. Gowdy at 72 hours for the last 10 years. Working my way through the organization of project manager has given me the experience necessary to take this company and assist it on its international expansion ventures. But I could not have completed this project on my own. As you can see behind me, I have 4 other team members that have helped me get to where we are today. Jordan Chen, over here on the far side, he's our IT guru and has taken the lead for online research, specifically in the Italian market. Melanie Morno is our Chief Marketing Officer and has given us invaluable insight into challenges within the foreign marketplace. Krista Wang, our Sales Director, has projected detailed sales plans for each market. And Rachel Harrison, our Director of Distribution, has researched the logistics for getting our product on the ground in this foreign market. Okay. Facts to consider in the 3 markets. So in order to fully research our intended market, we focused our recommendation on 3 countries. Japan, Italy, and Haiti have frequent natural disasters occurring within their country. As you can see, we've taken a look at the earthquake risk, the economy, language and culture, and the nonprofit involvement, such as a Red Cross Society. At this point, I'm going to introduce Rachel Harrison, who's going to give you a detailed analysis on the Japanese market.
So the first country we researched was Japan, an island country located in East Asia. When researching Japan, we noticed the following highlights: a very high susceptibility to natural disasters, strong economic ties with Canada, a strong difference in language and business practices, and an opportunity for our wholesale division with the Japanese Red Cross. When we researched Japan's vulnerability to natural disasters, we found it to be extraordinarily high. Japan accounts for only 0.25% of the Earth's landmass, but also accounts for 20.5%, or just over 1/5, of the Earth's 6.0 and greater magnitude earthquakes. This is because Japan lies on 4 major tectonic plates: the Eurasian Plate, the Philippine Sea Plate, the North American Plate, and the Pacific Plate. In addition, Japan sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, which increases its seismic activity and provides Japan with 7% of the world's active volcanoes. When it comes to Canada and Japan's economic ties, there is a strong trade relationship between the 2 countries. Japan is one of Canada's largest bilateral foreign direct partners and is Canada's 4th largest merchandise export market. This has been made possible by trade agreements previously signed and strengthened by current negotiations and prospective agreements. In 2005, both countries signed the Canada-Japan Economic Framework, which was a key document for the bilateral cooperation for economic and trade policies. Following in 2012, both countries launched negotiations on a bilateral free trade agreement called the Canada-Japan Economic Partnership Agreement, demonstrating a desire between the 2 countries for easy trade. Then in 2016, both countries signed the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, also known as the TPP Agreement, which includes an important feature for 72 hours. The TPP Agreement will provide new policies to improve and regulate online commerce between Canada and Japan. One challenge we will face with Japan is the language barrier. Japanese is an extremely different language from both official languages in Canada. We will require an experienced translator for both manufacturing and business communications. When we communicate with the Japanese people, we will also need to recognize some cultural differences for business practices. In Japanese culture, they are more conservative, respectful, and direct when addressing each other, such as always using a person's surname followed by an appropriate title. Physical contact is avoided, including shaking hands, as well as they judge the distance between one another based on the space available and not based on one's personal preference. In Japan, 72 Hours does have a wholesale opportunity. The Japanese Red Cross Society is an emergency response regime of 488 teams, dispersed throughout the entire country. These teams, under the Disaster Relief Act, are responsible for many activities during emergency situations. One of these responsibilities is the storage and distribution of relief goods. We believe that 72 Hours emergency survival kits could be one of those relief goods. Now, Crystal will introduce our next possible country, Haiti.
Second country we researched is Haiti, which is a country located on the island of Hispaniola. In 2015, Haiti has population of 10.7 million. Haiti's worldwide economic rank is 141st and 141st, and the GDP of Haiti is equal to 11.8 million Canadian dollar. Another important reason we choose Haiti as our research target is Canada and Haiti are equal trading partners. Although there are no free trade agreement currently, Haiti's market is still open for Canada. For our product, our product can be easily to enter the Haitian market. Fortunately, there are no language barrier between Haiti and us. Because the official language of Haiti is based on French. Our bilingual employees can communicate and help with manufacturing. We will not need a professional translator for business. For the non-profit involvement, there are no powerful competitor for us because Haiti doesn't have any local Red Cross organization. Some Red Cross organizations from other countries, like the Canadian Red Cross, always provide help to Haiti when a natural disaster occurs. You may know, but Haiti often serves natural disasters because it is located between two major tectonic plates. There are frequent seismic activities. Some geologists warn there might be a new earthquake circle in Haiti, which makes Haiti's earthquake risk very high. Now, Jordan will introduce the next country, Italy.
Our third consideration on the list is Italy. Italy stands as the 8th largest economic entity with a 2.47 trillion Canadian dollar output per year. Italy is certainly a worthy consideration for our 72-hour emergency kits. The Italian government does show strong support when it comes to trading relationship between Canada and Italy, especially with the recently signed Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement known as CETA. Canadian and Italian government are like-minded countries who are both involved in multilateral institutions such as the UN, G7, and NATO. From the year 2013, we have significant increase of trading from the previous years. In fact, by the year 2015, Italy is our 7th biggest trading country. This should allow 72-hour kits to have an easy start when we consider the possibility of trading with Italy. With the current currency being euro, the currency of Italy and Japan are both reliable trading currencies. And although the official language of Italy is Italian, 29% of the Italian population are familiar with English. With nearly a third of Italian population speaking English, it should allow us to have an easy access to the country. But however, we will still need an experienced translator due to manufacturing and for some business communication while we expand overseas. As Italy sits on the Eurasian and African plate, the chances of earthquake happening are significantly higher than many places on the globe. Under such circumstances, organizations like the Red Cross plays an important role as a guidance and support when situations do occur. Especially in high-risk areas for earthquake like Italy, the Italian Red Cross is a branch of the International Federation of Red Cross, and during the previous earthquake that took place in Italy, they provided a lot of help. As mentioned above, Italy has a relatively high risk to earthquake due to its location. In fact, the last major earthquake just happened about 2 months ago around the Umbria and Marche area. It is significant impact to damage to Italy, but part of the reason it damaged Italy so badly is because of the building structure and infrastructure of Italy. Buildings are getting older and were never structured to survive a major earthquake like that. Now I'll have Melanie to sum it up for us.
So in order to determine the most optimal country for the first international distribution of 72 hours emergency survival kit, we focused our recommendations on Japan, Haiti, and Italy, as they were the countries that have frequent natural disasters. Before we talk about our recommendation, I would like to recap some of the main points that we discussed during our presentation. When comparing Japan, Haiti, and Italy, we reviewed their population, gross domestic products, language barriers, and their seismic activity. We understand that moving to an international distribution of our emergency survival kit is an important step for 72 hours. The success of this first venture will determine the future of this product, which is why we were very thorough in our research. The choice of countries for expansion were narrowed to Japan, Haiti, and Italy, 3 diverse countries. We recommend Japan. As you can see here, Japan is extremely vulnerable to natural disasters, especially earthquakes. In comparison to Haiti and Italy, it has a greater volume of large magnitude earthquakes and volcanic disturbances. As well, the Japanese economy ranked higher than both the Italian and Haitian economies, indicating a strong and prosperous economy to start in. Japan also has the largest population compared to Haiti and Italy, which means a larger demographic for us because every person who lives on the islands of Japan is vulnerable to a natural disaster. Through our research, we found we can access this demographic due to the great trading agreements between Japan and Canada, such as the recently signed Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. Due to their highly vulnerable location, large economy, and demographic, and trading agreements with Canada, we strongly believe that Japan would be the best country to expand into for our first international distribution. Thank you for listening.